Doug is hanging out with his little brother Dale by the sandbox, and Doug pulls up. Skeeter is kind of down and lets Doug know that his dad has a company picnic, but uh, the babysitter canceled and Dale is too young to go to the picnic. Doug feels bad, like, oh man, what are y'all gonna do? And Skeeter is saying, hey man, hey, I've been helping you out a lot, bro, and it's time for me to cash in on the favors I've given you. So I need you to watch my little bro. And I 100% agree with Skeeter's thinking. He needs to help him as well. It can't be a one-sided relationship. Skeeter has helped Doug on many, many occasions. So Doug accepts being Dale's babysitter for the day as he gets a small dose of what it will be like babysitting Dale. This must be a fire picnic because Skeeter is too hype. Doug pays a visit to his sister Judy in hopes of getting some much needed advice on how to babysit Skeeter's little brother. As usual, Judy is in the middle of meditating. But we all know getting advice from Judy can be a handful. You know, she's gonna go very dramatic and unnecessary to the point where she pretends to be a toddler, a baby crying in an eccentric manner. Doug ain't feeling that advice. He needs better advice. So Judy says, all right, no worries. Yo, just wear this to entertain him and you'll be good, bro. So Doug is at the Honkerburger now, talking to the rest of his friends about babysitting Dale. Bro, forget what they're saying. What is going on here? Do y'all see anything strange about this picture? You guys see how Connie looks right now? Not supposed to look like this. Why is her skin purple and her hair is yellow? When it's supposed to be the opposite. Her skin is supposed to be yellow and her hair is supposed to be purple. What is going on? Somebody has some explaining to do. Alright, enough of my rant on that. Doug now at the Hunkerberry with his friends. Chucky's advice is to give him a bunch of junk food. Roger gets some crap saying he's gonna do a horrible job babysitting. Like, fam, you might need to lawyer up because you're probably gonna get sued after this. Doug gets kind of worried because he got some trash advice from his friends, per usual. The Valentines are preparing Doug to watch Dale as Skeeter is packing everything up. Here's your number if you need me. See you later, Dale. Have fun with Doug. Look how happy they are to leave Dale, bro. Dale been terrorizing them. Look how happy Skeeter is. Doug goes inside to try to comfort Dale. Dale ain't really feeling this. He ain't feel. Look at his face, bro. I'm not into whatever you trying to do, bro. I'm gone. Dashing to the window, screaming out for his mama, having a tantrum, ripping curtains down, going crazy, bro. Doug immediately realizes that he is in trouble. He is in for a long night with Dale. Doug tries to reach for the mask that Judy gave him, and it does not work. Dale is terrified and runs behind the TV. Realizing the mask was not working, he remembers something Chucky said about giving him some junk food, and he goes into the freezer and pulls out some ice cream to try to give to Dale, which is a horrible idea. Doug tries to feed Dale ice cream, but he ends up knocking it down. Doug attempts to feed Dale again, but this time in a more creative way that's entertaining, which Dale seems to like. He seems to like this, but he ends up knocking a whole ice cream on his head. Doug now has to clean Dale up and now has to give him a change of clothes, in which Doug tries to allow Dale to pick his own clothes to sleep in, but Dale is being extra picky. He don't like none of them, and Doug tries to take BB advice and let him do, whatever he wants to do. So Doug leaves in the hopes that Dale is responsible enough to put on his own clothes. I don't know how long Doug left, but it only takes 3 seconds for a toddler to destroy everything. A toddler is chaotic. Dale is chaotic. So Doug realized he had to muscle Dale to get his clothes on, and finally got his clothes on. It looks like Doug found something that Dale would want to do constructive. He found a box of crayons. So Doug like, oh, you like crayons? So let's go ahead and color then. So now you see them coloring together. And Doug feels like he has Dale occupied with coloring the crayons. And so Doug thinks he's going to be able to watch a full episode of whatever this is. The phone rings and it's Skeeter's mom, and Doug letting him know that everything is okay. He's coloring right now, but the mom questions him like, you not in there watching him with the crayons, bro? You know what a toddler can do with a crayon alone, bro? Doug realizes he needs to go check on Dale very quickly, just to find out that he destroys the whole living room with crayons. Dale immediately cries and throws a temper tantrum. For some reason, Doug leaves Dale alone again, feeling sorry for himself. And so he's worried about Dale and wanted to see how he's doing. He goes back into the living room and he's nowhere to be found. Doug is now in full panic mode, unable to locate Dale. Doug comes to the realization that he's been listening to everybody else, but he has not been listening to himself and what he would do and what he should do. But it looks like they're a little too late. It looks like the Skeeter family is about to pull up in the driveway, not giving Doug much time to think about where Dale is. Lets Doug know immediately that they're coming. Doug has to think on his toes, think under pressure, and figure out where Dale could be hiding. So he thinks about what he would do if he was 2 years old, where he would hide. He remembers that he used to hide in the laundry room back when he was a kid when Judy babysitted him. He remembers himself as a kid throwing himself into a pile of laundry to hide from Judy. This gives Doug the idea to look in the laundry room, look in the pile of laundry to see if Dale is in there. As he's doing that, the parents are standing right behind him, wondering what he is doing. The mom is pressing Doug on where Dale is, and Doug does not realize that Dale is actually in the pile of laundry right next to him. Doug was able to keep things under wraps until the family got home. The Valentine family is very impressed that he was able to hold things down with Dale. Skeeter is very impressed. He gives him kudos for finding his favorite hiding spot. Doug has a very strong sense of relief. Even the dad congratulates him, and he doesn't congratulate anybody. And he actually pays some money and does not take it back this time. The dad suggests that he becomes Dale's permanent babysitter, and he said, let's take things one step at a time.